Hello. Don't know if anybody's out there. I hope I straighten this stuff up. I don't know. We'll find out if anybody shows up on here. I'm waiting. Oh my God! Look. Hey Tim. God, I was worried. Last week I did an hour and a half show, and I found out that nobody was there because apparently I had put private on my session. So it's a guinea pig session because I'm trying this out, and myself and y'all are guinea pigs. But you can go to YouTube off of the Dave Hawkins site, and it'll show you that video from last week, which is the entire new album. There we go. We'll see how well Sparky does here. We did an outside show last night, and I haven't had a chance to change strings, so she's not going to be too happy about me playing on used strings like this. But I'm going to do a few songs for you off the new album that I did do last week on the new album, the total new album live thing. I'm still working on the new album, recording some stuff. And if you've been looking at Facebook, you saw that I thought I had lost like almost half of the songs I already had my guitar and vocal stuff done on. And thanks to AppleCare and about an hour and a half on the phone with them, we found that. So we're back on track with that. So I'll do like 3 or 4, maybe 5 songs for you, and then send you on your merry way. All off of the upcoming album. Well, I don't drink as much as I ought to. Lately, it just ain't been my style. And the hard times don't cut like they used to. They pass quicker, like when I was a child. And somehow I've learned how to listen to the sound of the sun going down, knowing in the morning I'll be singing a song for this life I have found. You know, keeps my feet on the ground. Well, the midsummer's day sits so heavy, it don't flow like the breeze through your mind. When nothing appears in a hurry to make up for some old lost time. And somehow I've learned how to listen to the sound of the sun going down, knowing in the morning I'll be singing a song for this life I have found. You know, keeps my feet on the ground. And somehow I've learned how to listen to the sound of the sun going down, knowing in the morning I'll be singing a song for this life I've found. You know, keeps my feet on the ground. You know, keeps my feet on ground. It's a Rodney Crowell tune called Song for the Life. Slightly flat. Like I said, I played last night at Sand Hollow Winery out in Heath, Ohio. It's an outside show. Got home way late last night, even though it was an early show. Jim Young and his wonderful wife Cindy. We hung around for a while after the gig. In honor of my religious heritage, one of the fine wines that Jim has on tap out there is a wine that he created called the Pope. So me and the Pope did a lot of talking last night. So I got home and I just kind of threw the guitar into the studio and crashed for a while in the hangout room and went to bed. And I just walked in here, turned this on, and said, I'm just going to start. And so I just started, and I didn't check tuning first, which is a very professional thing to do. And my guitar tech has the day off, so he wasn't here to tune it up for me ahead of time. Doing two covers in a row. That was Rodney Crowell. This is a Danny Whitten song. Danny was one of the founding members and the main guy in a band called Crazy Horse, which a lot of people think that Crazy Horse was Neil Young's band. But indeed, Crazy Horse was an entity all unto themselves, and they would play with Neil Young. And Danny Whitten wrote this song, and I had heard it. I forget if it was Rod Stewart or somebody had a big hit with it. And I had never heard the original version, and I was down in Nashville about a year or two ago, and a friend of mine, I was staying at the house of a patron of music who always puts me up when I'm down there working. And this guy called me up and he said, man, you got to check this out. It's Danny Whitten doing this song that he wrote called I Don't Want to Talk About It. And Danny wrote the first verse, and it tore him up so much that he just couldn't finish the song. And his band members came into the studio and said, we're going to finish this song with you. It will be your song, but we're going to help you finish it. Sadly, Danny died about a year or two after he had written this song. Back in 1971. It's called I Don't Want to Talk About It. It's going to be on a new album. I can tell by your eyes you've probably been crying forever. And the stars in the sky don't mean nothing to you. They're a mirror. I don't wanna talk about it, how you broke my heart. If I stay here just a little bit longer, if I stay here, won't you listen to my heart? Oh, heart. If I stand all alone, will the shadow hide the color of my heart? Blue for the tears, black for all the night's fear. My heart and the stars don't mean nothing to you. They're a mirror. I don't wanna talk about it, how you broke my heart. If I stay here just a little bit longer, if I stay here, won't you listen to my heart? Oh, heart. My heart. Oh, heart. talk about it, how you broke my heart. If I stay here just a little bit longer, if I stay here, won't you listen to my heart? Oh, heart, my heart. Oh, heart, my heart. Oh, heart. Danny Whitten, what a wonderful songwriter he was. Greatly missed. I'm going to skip ahead here. There's a song that came to me, well, it was right after to me, I've just lost the words. To me, he was my greatest inspiration and probably the reason that I've spent the last almost 45 years playing music for a living. And he inspired me with his very first album that came out in the early 70s. And I became a big fan of his music and started playing his music back about 1972. His name, and everybody has heard of this guy, John Prine. And the day that, the night that I heard that John Prine died, the next day I couldn't even come into my studio and pick up my guitar. The night that I heard about it, I just sat in my studio with the lights out in the studio, just with my guitar in my lap, and I couldn't play the guitar. It was just so it really hit me in the gut. It probably hit me about as hard as it hit when my brother Steve died. And I never had the opportunity to meet John or talk to him. I got to talk to Al Bunetta, his manager, longtime manager, a few years before Al died. But I was thinking, this was probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks or so ago. I woke up in the morning with this song going through my head, and for some reason I was thinking it was a John Prine song, and then I realized it was just a song that came to me after thinking about John Prine and the inspiration that he was for me in my music and my songwriting, and also thinking about the fact that I'm getting older, as a lot of people in my generation are, and we're kind of looking at the finish line coming up in however many years the finish line's coming up. And I kind of wanted to look at a lighter side of that, and the fact that maybe I don't have a death wish, but sometimes I think maybe I'm a fatalist, and I say, well, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So I wrote this song called The Great Beyond, and it's going to be on the new album as well. When I die, will you remember me? When I'm dead and gone, will you really miss me? When my last winter's come and gone, will you think of me flying to the great beyond? What will it be? My legacy? Will people say I was just okay? When my last winter's come and gone, will you think of me flying to the great beyond? Give my body, please, to folks trying to cure disease. Burn what's left of me and set my ashes free. When my last winter's come and gone, will you think of me flying to the great beyond? at the wake, put my guitar at the end of an open bar, sing only happy tunes, we'll be together soon. When my last winter's come and gone, will you think of me flying to the great beyond? Yeah, when my last winter's come and gone, will you think of me flying to the great beyond? That's me you'll see, flying to the great beyond. Great beyond. Thank you, the Spirit of John Prine, for bringing that song to me out of nowhere. I want to do. I see some of my family members who I don't see on here very often are showing up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and I want to do a couple songs. Last night, like I said, I played out in Heath, Ohio, a lovely little town. It's a suburb of Newark, Ohio, the big town of Newark, Ohio, which is kind of a suburb of Columbus, Ohio, where I grew up. And now my wife and I live here in Newark, Ohio, in my studio. You're welcome to my studio if this is your first time in. This is my studio. It's in the lower level of my house, and I'm really happy to be here. The only thing I'm missing that I probably need to do is apparently I need to get a pickup truck. So if anybody has a pickup truck they want to get rid of, I'm in Newark, Ohio, where one of the laws is you have to have a pickup truck. But I've done some songs that are going to be on the new album that I've been working on here, doing my parts here in the studio, and then I'm sending my parts around to my band members who are everywhere from somewhere down near Louisville and in Cincinnati and down in Nashville, and then they do their parts, they send them back to me, and then I'm going to take them over to a studio that a buddy of mine who's worked on many of my albums he has a studio over there in Columbus, and he's going to help me turn it into an album. And my co-producer, he didn't even know he was going to be the co-producer, but my good friend Michael Gilbert Ronstadt, who is a wonderful musician, cellist, guitarist, mandolin player, and vocalist, and he's just been adding some really great parts. He's a good friend and a member of my band, The Perfect Men, and yes, he is from that Ronstadt family. But I'm really excited. It's going to be my 9th album, and I'm looking forward to getting it done and getting it out there for you all to see, or hear, I should say. But I want to do 3 songs for you that have a lot of meaning to me. I wrote this song. My brother Steve was my biggest fan, my best friend, and my mentor. Reverend Monsignor Stephen Brian Hawkins. He passed away in 2001, and every day I think of him at least once every day, if not more often, and sometimes a bit of wisdom comes into my head, and I know it's not from me, so I know Steve's up there going, come on, man, you're better than this. But about a month after he passed away, I was thinking about one of the last times that I saw him where he was actually coherent. He was in the ICU at the hospital. Cancer had taken over his body, and he gave us a blessing, my family and I a blessing, and he had a lot of great words of wisdom, some of which I think came from the Creator through him, and other parts of the words that he was saying may have been some really good pharmaceuticals, because he and I had talks about, he used to say better living through pharmaceuticals. So anyway, I wrote this song called Stephen's Song, and it's going to be on the new album. It's based on some of the wise words that he gave to me. I know I'm running down the road a little faster than I should be going. I should be taking my time to see the beauty that's all around me. How could I know where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. Just around the bend, another dead end, or a new road for me to see. taking life for granted. It's a habit that most folks share. Live our lives to the fullest. Enjoy the sun, the rain, and wind in our hair. How could I know where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. Just around the bend, another dead end, or a new road for me to see. I've taken a lesson from my brother. Enjoy life and all there is to see. It's a greater love too, it's a greater good to share with each other. And before he died, he shared this with me. How could I know where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. Just around the bend, another dead end, or a new road for me to see. How could I know just where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. But just around the bend there is no dead end, but a new life waiting for me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Stephen's song. Again, thank you all for stopping in to the Guinea Pig Session. The next One Take Tuesday will be a week from this coming Tuesday, so I guess that's 4, 5, 6, the 7th, I think it is, July 7th. But in the meantime, be sure you check out DaveHawkins.com. That tells you how to get to the YouTube channel, where you can... where you can hear the entire album. This is called Tuning. Usually change my guitar strings about every week or so, unless I do outside gigs, in which case it's every 3 or 4 days. And the company that makes the strings, D'Addario, they shut down their plant during COVID, and they've just recently opened up, but they've only opened up for retail. And so the D'Addario artists are kind of waiting in line until we get the go-ahead to order our stuff. So I've got about 50 sets of guitar strings I got to order as soon as they open. But in the meantime, I just have to keep retuning about every 3 songs, because the weather does not treat my guitar strings very well. So, but anyway, this is a song that was written by Walter Donaldson and Gus Kahn back in 1922. I first heard this song on a Jerry Jeff Walker album that I got in 1973, and when I heard the song, I thought, man, that's a really cool song, but I didn't think any more of it. But then when my brother died in 2001, a few weeks later, I was driving down the road, and I had this album on my iPod in my car, and when that song came on, all of a sudden it hit me, oh my God, this is my song to my brother. So I started performing it, and over the last couple of years I've had the honor of playing it at memorial services for friends of mine when they've died. And it's a song called My Buddy. It's going to be on the new album. It goes just like this. Not so long since you went away, I think of you all through the lonely days, buddy. Oh, buddy, Your buddy's missing you. I miss your voice, miss the touch of your hand. I miss the way your eyes saw things upon the land. Buddy, oh buddy, nobody's quite so true. They tell me life's a book to study, with lessons to find. Ours was written, we'd part, you and I. But buddies through the good days, buddies through the good days, and pals of things that fall. It's just these gray days I miss you most of all, buddy. Oh, buddy, your buddy's missing you. Yes, sir, they say it must be in God's plan. I'll be like a good boy and say I understand. But buddy, oh buddy, your buddy's got the blues. Buddy, oh buddy, your buddy's missing you. My buddy, or my brother Steve. Whether it's a year, whether it's a century, don't know if it's sadness, maybe it's just self-pity. I'm missing you, missing you. You told me you'd be here anytime I needed you. Now it seems like every day I'm always not knowing what to do. I'm missing you, missing you. I'm missing you, missing you. Why did you go away? Could have stayed just one more day. How can I make it on my own? Got nothing more to say. Just missing you, missing you. You're somewhere up above. My life seems harder every day. I count the stars in the heavens. The tears flow, and I gotta say I'm missing you. Just missing you. I'm missing you. Just missing you. Whether it's a year, maybe it's a century. I don't know if it's sadness, maybe it's just self-pity. I'm missing you, just missing you. I'm missing you, missing you. Got a couple more songs I'm going to sing for you and then let you all go. Three. I got three more songs. So hang in there if you're on and you're thinking, I don't know, I think I'm going to go. Just stay for 5, maybe 10 more minutes at the most. At one point, I saw my oldest nephew and godson Scott Hawkins was on. I hope you're still on there, Scott. It's so great to see you on there. I don't get to see my nephews and nieces as often as I used to years ago. Of course, these days, the last few months, I don't get to see my grandkids, which really sucks. I'll tell you, my wife Wendy and I moved up here from Cincinnati 2 years ago so we could be closer to the kids and grandkids. And damned if this COVID thing didn't come along, and now we're seeing each other on FaceTime, stuff like that. But other than that, it kind of sucks. And I know we're not the only people. I know everybody else is going through the same thing. So anyway, I'm going to do 3 more songs for you. This song was actually, I didn't know this. I woke up at 6 o'clock one morning with this in the entire first verse of this song going through my head. I had no idea where it came from, and something that's very unlike me. I jumped out of bed and I ran down to the studio and started writing things down. And the entire song came to me within like an hour or so before I even had a cup of coffee. And I thought, man, where did this song come from? And then I remembered my dad telling me back when he was in high school, he worked at various farms around where he lived down in southern Illinois, in Harrisburg, Illinois, and he used to ride horses. They didn't have ATVs and things to drive around on farms, so he would ride horses. And my mom passed away in 2010, Mary Catherine O'Reilly Hawkins, and my dad lived 3 more years in an assisted living center in Westerville, Ohio. And as matter of factly, he did. It wasn't like he was whining or complaining about it. He would just very matter of factly talk about how other residents would talk about how their loved ones would come to visit them in dreams. And he said to me, your mother's never come to me in a dream. And that just really tore at my heart, him telling me this story. And I said, Dad, I'm so sorry. He says, that's okay. He says, I understand. She's probably busy up there, and I'll see her soon enough. So when this song came to me, I thought, this is my dad inspiring me to do this song. And so it's a song called Return to You, and I give my dad credit from beyond for inspiring me to do this song. It's called Return to You, and it's going to be on the new album. It goes just like this. I could put a saddle on, find swift horse to ride upon away into the mountains I would ride, past the tall timber to the snow line, and there I'd stay, just to be close to you. Walking the trail in the forest woods, remembering the days when I could just talk to you. I'll take the path less traveled upon, tell myself you're not really gone, that you're right here. And I'd hold you together, you and me. Our love for eternity. See a light in the distant haze as I come to the final days of my world. It ain't nothing but the passage of time. When I was yours, you were mine forever. I hold you again. Forever, I hold you again. I could put a saddle on a fine swift horse to ride upon away. It's for my dad. Return to You. Well, this next song, there's kind of a bit of a story. Unlike any of my other songs or any of my performances, I have a story for you. Back when I was a kid, I was the youngest of 4 boys, and my 3 older brothers, God love them, in the most loving brotherly way, they loved to torture me because I was the baby of the family. And one time, and my 2 living brothers will probably deny this, but I remember it, so it must be true. We had this old Columbus Dispatch newspaper bag, carrier's bag. It was a canvas bag that you would put over your shoulder to carry your newspapers, to deliver them back in the days before somebody drove around throwing them out in the middle of your front yard. And I was probably 4 or 5 years old. And my brothers convinced me that if I got up on the garage roof and put this canvas bag around with a strap under my shoulders, that it would be a parachute and I could jump off the garage roof and I would float down to the ground. My dad came out about the time that I was getting ready to jump, and he said, "What are you boys doing?" "Oh, Dad, we're trying to talk him off of the roof. He's wanting to jump." So of course I got in trouble. Because, the youngest is always the one that gets in trouble and never gets anything. No spoliation here. But I was thinking about that when I heard this Guy Clark song called "The Cape." And another story, quick story that goes with that is when I was the youngest, so my brothers were off to school, and my mom would sometimes put a towel, like a bath towel, around my neck with a little safety pin, and I got to be Superman. So I would jump from the couch to the chair and everything else. And one time I jumped onto a table and broke a vase. And I found out that not every part of Superman is indestructible, because I couldn't sit down for a week. So anyway, with that in mind, this is a song by Guy Clark called "The Cape" that's going to be on the new album. 8 years old with a flour sack cape tied all around his neck. He climbed up on the garage, figure what the heck. Screwed his courage up so tight the whole thing came unwound. He got a running start and bless his heart, headed for the ground. One of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath and always trust your cape. Now he's all grown up with flour sack cape tied all around his dreams. He's full of piss and vinegar, busted at the seams. He licked his finger and he checked the wind, it was gonna be do or die. He wasn't scared of nothing, boys, and pretty sure he could fly. One of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and I'll always trust your cape. He's old and gray with a flour sack cape tied all around his head. He's still jumping off the garage and will be till he's dead. All his life the people said he's acting like a kid. He did not know he could not fly, so he did. One of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and I'll always trust your cape. He's one of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and I'll always trust your cape. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and I'll always trust your cape. One more. Kate, Guy Clark. Well, thank you all so much. I want to finish out with a song that I wrote. I think I wrote this about a month after my oldest granddaughter, Kaylee Brianna Leary Broughton. She's now 21 years old and married. And it's going to be on the new album as well. I wrote this song and then I put it in a drawer because I can't remember why. If we go back 21 years, exactly what was in my mind at the time. Part of me might have been feeling sad about the fact that I truly was an old man now because I had a granddaughter, and then part of me may have been where I felt like I didn't know if it was a song that did justice for the beauty of my first grandchild. But last fall, I was going through some of my old files, and I found the lyrics to this song, and I decided to add a melody to it to make it something that might be worthwhile now that I have 8 grandkids, all of whom are beyond the lullaby stage of their lives, but still, it's just a way for me to travel back in time to that day when I had my first grandchild. And if you have adult children who are getting married or getting to the point where they might be having kids, let me tell you something, there's a really special time coming up for you because grandkids are just amazing and great, and I'm so proud of all 8 of my grandkids. So this is going to be my last song, and it's going to be on the new album as well. And it made its live debut last night at the winery out there in Heath, Ohio, Sand Hollow. So this is my last song. It's called A Granddad's Lullaby, and I hope you enjoy it. And because it's me, I have some more to say to you after I'm done with this song. So. What are you going to do? The end of the day is here. Time to go to sleep, sweet child, and wipe away all your tears. The time for sleep is now. We're at the end of day. Close your eyes and dream those dreams of the joy you have at play. As you dream your sweet dreams, I pray they all come true. May blessings and joy, peace and love all rain down on you. In the morn when you awake, just a little while, you're your granddad will be right here, dear child, to greet you with this song and a smile. As you dream your sweet dreams, I pray they all come true. May blessings and joy, peace and love all rain down on you. So what are you going to do now the end of the day is here? Time to go to sleep, dear child, and wipe away all your tears. Time to go to sleep, sweet child, I'll wipe away all your tears. Sorry about the little bump there on the chording. So that's Granddads Lullaby, written 21 years ago when Kaylee Brianna Leary was born. Now Kaylee Brianna Leary Broughton. And that's a song for all of my grandkids, because I'm so proud of y'all, and Grandpa loves you. So anyway, thank you all so much for stopping in to hear some of the songs that are going to be on the new album. And again, please go to davehawkins.com and it'll tell you how to get to YouTube, where you can hear my One Take Tuesday last Tuesday that didn't go out over the internet live, and I am so sorry about that. Computer idiot right here. I punched some button that made it a private recording, so I immediately, as soon as I could, put it on YouTube. So it's something that you can watch at your leisure, and if you have to do a pee stop, you can do the pee stop and take care of business and then come back and watch the rest of it, right? So anyway, maybe over the next week, I'll throw another Guinea Pig Session at you. A week from Tuesday will be the next One Take Tuesday, which will be a live, roughly 1 hour show. If you are in the Central Ohio area, this is not an advertised gig, but there's this pizza shop in Blacklick, Ohio called Stats Pizza, and I am playing there next Friday night for about an hour and a half or so, starting at like 5 o'clock, I think it is. But because of all the COVID crap going on, they haven't really been advertising the Friday night entertainment. So it's kind of like if you stop in and go, hey, there's a guy with a guitar, we'll listen for a while. So check that out. Let me see. It's going to be about 2 or 3 weeks from now. I'll be back at Sand Hollow Winery in Heath, Ohio. My good friends Jim and Cindy Young, who own the winery out there, they love having me out there, and I love being out there. It's a wonderful setting out, 60 acres of hilly woodside with a lake right off of where the winery is. So, and hopefully some other wineries will be having me come to do some outside shows. I'm hoping to do some more outside shows, hoping to get back to Cincinnati. I got a couple things, a couple emails from Nashville. They're starting to open some stuff up there, but they've had a spike recently. So I don't know whether they're going to shut back down or what's happening. So all of my Nashville shows got canceled last month, and made me cry. And I miss my friends down in Nashville, and I miss my friends down in the Cincinnati area. I'm looking forward to getting to both of those places. And also the West Coast tour that was going to happen in September might not happen now. So because we're kind of freaking out about sitting in an airplane for 3 to 5 hours packed into an airplane. So we'll see what happens with that. So anyway, Susan Spiker, my social media lady, she had eye surgery last week. From what I understand, she did very well. Everything's fine. It was cataract surgery. She's going to be back online doing the e-newsletter. Please sign up for that. And I think that's it, folks. Thank you all so much. Watch out for the guinea pig sessions like this one, because they just pop up whenever I've had 1 or 2 bourbons and go, I ain't got nothing else to do. Maybe somebody wants to hear some music. So thank you all so much. Any of my family members, hi, Dar. I'm glad you're here. and I saw Brucey was here earlier, and also I saw my godson Scott Hawkins was on here earlier. I hope, Scott, you're still here, and your family's all doing well up there near Cleveburg, Ohio. So I will see you all soon. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Love yourselves. Love each other. Love the earth. And this is Dave. I will see you again soon. God bless you all. Peace out.